Yo, do you want to learn how to do this? What I just did is the biggest shortcut in Superstar Racers for Surfer's Paradise, and it saves a ton of time if you do it correctly. However, as you can see right here, it is very inconsistent, and I'm going to try to show you the best way to do it on mobile and computer so you guys have a variety. So I'm going to show the easy way to do this first. What you gotta do is jump on the surfboard and then aim to the left of that rock. You want to be holding forward here the whole time. Now after that, you actually want to go, and as soon as you go off the water, you want to start holding up and to the right. Now quick note, as soon as the front of your surfboard hits that rock, it's over. So you want your back of the surfboard to stay on the rock. Because the biggest mistake I see by far is hitting your front of the surfboard on the rock and you just bonk and fall. That is not what you want to do at all. Now this does take a while to get used to, but if you can keep that back of the surfboard on the rock while slowly tilting your camera to match up with the rock, you can go off the rock and then jump off it and then jump, dive onto the balloon, and then you can just go straight to the platform. It is much easier than going straight to the platform like I did in the intro. However, it's a little bit slower. I mean, it is still a viable solution though. So here's the easier way to do it in full speed. And now let's move on to the speedrun version, which is the one I showed in the intro. Now, the shortcut I showed in the intro is much harder for two reasons. One, you have much less margin of error for the ending. Like as you can see, there's not much space. And number two, you need to gain height on the rock much faster than you do with method one. So how do I do that on mobile? Well, it's actually much more simple than you think. Rather than holding directly upright, I actually hold a much sharper angle. And that way I can get height much faster and I can go straight to the platform. You see how much less space you have with that rock? I am like centimeters away from the front of that surfboard hitting that rock. Like it is very, very tight. But if you can pull it off, then that saves time over the balloon route. Now, holding a sharper angle does mean you need to aim your camera a little more left than what you're used to. But yeah, I mean, it is a hard thing to do. And you know what? I mean, I don't really do this at all. So good luck, guys. Now for computer, you literally can just hold WD as soon as you go off the water. Like it is so much easier than mobile. Like you just twist your camera. That's all you really have to worry about on laptop, which is why mobile is so much harder for this skip specifically. As you can see, I mean, it's still possible to hit the wall and all that. But yeah, for this skip, the main thing you need to learn really is just focusing on moving your camera. That is basically all this skip is about. It's really hard to get super precise instructions because I can't just say twist your camera slightly to the right and that'll save everything. So honestly, test it out for yourself, guys. I gave you a good starting point. If you guys have any questions about this skip specifically, let me know. I have more big skips coming up that I want to teach. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, or I guess the tip of the rock if you want to compare it to this map. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something from this, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care.